My name is Luke Vargas, and I'm one of the judges for the Marina Keegan Fellowship at BBNN. Shortly after Marina's death, her friends, family, and some of her favorite teachers from BBNN got together to create a summer fellowship for rising juniors and seniors. Your teachers have no doubt told you about some of the requirements for applying and some of the examples of projects we like and haven't liked in the past. But I wanted to add some color to your understanding of Marina to help inform your application and help you make the most of this opportunity. Before she went to college and became a great writer, activist, and performer, Marina Keegan was a great student. At BBNN, she devised ways to recruit fellow students in support of her projects. She made connections with her teachers. She viewed education as a means of collective and individual advancement, not some competitive zero-sum game, though boy, was she competitive. When she went on to Yale, she deployed much of what she had practiced in high school on a grander scale. She wrote plays and musicals and built the respect of talented actors, musicians, and other writers by putting in the time to assist with their productions. She paid it forward. She forged relationships with some of Yale's most respected professors, gaining rare insights into the minds of literary geniuses, and in turn, she advanced her budding writing career in the process. And in a move I'll always admire her for, during her sophomore year at Yale, she applied for summer research fellowships to go to India for 6 weeks to study the cause of humanism and atheism in the traditionally religious country. I think she knew from the start that she'd win all of the fellowships she applied for, and when she did, there was conveniently enough money for me to join her. That summer of travel, interviews, and research that followed left a big mark on Marina's writing. Her view of modernity clashing with tradition, her colorful take on the world. Had she lived to keep writing, who knows how the inspiration of that summer would have informed her writing for a lifetime to come. That's the power of the opportunity we've tried to create. You don't have to go halfway around the world to teach another language. You don't have to travel to Worcester or the Great Wall of China. You don't have to take photographs, teach ballet classes, or code an app. But you could do any or all of those things. If you think you know what your mind and body need to grow, then consider this opportunity. Put some time into the application, use Google to browse the Vanguard article to see what past winners have done, loop in some friends, and sell us on your vision, and tell us what it is you want to do to make something happen in this world. We look forward to hearing from you. Before you set off and try to apply for this fellowship, I wanted to offer a few pieces of advice and share some insights into the things I look for in applications. First, ask yourself if the fellowship money would allow you to do something that you might not otherwise be able to do without the money. In the past, we've seen students who have already carried out a project successfully in a certain community, and they use the fellowship to ask to repeat what it is they've had success with in the past. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but if your proposal does not involve doing something entirely new, we want to see how you plan to build on your past success, or how you'll help others to replicate what you've already mastered. And if your proposal involves buying something, make the case for why those goods you're buying are needed. There's always going to be a need for more money for school supplies or arts and crafts, and whilst those supplies could improve schools or after-school programs, we don't necessarily believe this scholarship money is the best way to fix that need. Second, help us to really understand your motivations. This is especially important if your proposal involves you stepping out of your comfort zone and traveling somewhere else. We're willing to consider proposals that could send you down the block or around the world, but it makes us uneasy if you don't explain why the location you've chosen really matters to you. If you've been teaching comic book writing and illustration to 5th graders in Roxbury, why do you then need to go to Russia to teach the same class? If you can make the case, we're excited to hear it. Finally, dare to address social justice. Marina and my relationship began around a shared interest in politics. We attended campaign rallies for then-Senator Barack Obama's first presidential campaign. Marina had a keen eye for detecting where there were problems and wrongs to be righted, but she also knew where her time was best spent and in which communities she would have the greatest standing, the ability to affect change. One of her plays, Utility Monster, sees 2 teenagers in Manhattan obsessing over sending $5 donations to Africa to save a child's life, But as they become all consumed with this utilitarianism and considering how everyday purchases could save lives overseas, they become blind to more immediate tragedies occurring all around them. I encourage you to consider this in your application. How does a faraway problem measure up against ones that are closer to home? We've sent students to China, to Australia, and to France because the causes they wanted to investigate there couldn't be found somewhere else. But international and even domestic travel isn't cheap, so make the case for why that money is worth spending.